Alright, folks, this one will not be long. No face cam day. Like I said, this one is actually just for the community. I have a quick question. I, for whatever reason, don't seem this obsession that the Final Fantasy XIV community has with Asmongold returning to the actual game. Now, let me explain this. For the past couple of weeks, since he has taken his hiatus from the game, and in the background I may actually just include some gameplay. I don't know if it's going to be PvP or some dungeon gameplay. Excuse me if it's not, most optimal gameplay, but it just may be just me dicking around or whatever, but it is what it is. Now, I don't know what it is about the community being so gung-ho on Asmongold actually returning to this game. I mean, I don't know if it is just his. I mean, I understand one aspect of it being that he has such a, I guess, such a large fan base that can, I guess maybe pump a lot of traffic and into the game, which really I don't really think Final Fantasy XIV needs. I don't really think the game needs Asmongold, because just in December the game had such a hype around Endwalker that they had to actually stop selling the game. Like, they had to close the gates on literally everyone, because there was such a influx of players signing up to play Endwalker that they was like, yo, fuck you guys, like they're not selling the game, close the gates, shut the door. Like, we literally couldn't even promote the damn game, saying, hey, have you heard of the award-winning MMO Final Fantasy XIV, blah blah blah, all that. We couldn't even say that. So, and that was just back a couple of months ago. So I don't think Final Fantasy XIV really needs Asmongold. I mean, drop my freaking controller. I don't really think Final Fantasy XIV needs Asmongold as much as the community thinks. As much as the community thinks that they do. I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess that they want him to experience all of the incredible moments. I also understand that point as well. They want him to experience all the amazing story moments, these amazing characters, this journey that is Final Fantasy XIV. I understand that, but whether he comes back to the game or not, it's really annoying that it's not the entire community, but it's just a portion of these people that just harps on him so much, and it's so annoying. Like, every time when I click on a video and even he's addressed it, that they just want him back into the game so badly. And at a point, it gets to a point where it's like, I think it's even driving him away. I think these guys, I don't think a portion of the community is actually working against themselves, because at a certain degree, the more that they keep harassing him to play this game, the more that he's gonna stay away from it, because you guys are kind of going a little bit too overboard with him coming back to this game, if that makes sense. I understand that you guys want him to experience what you've experienced in this game, but you guys are going a little bit overboard, and you're kind of making yourselves look a little bit crazy. Now, like I've said in my previous video, I've finished Endwalker. I know how everything played out. It was incredible. But again, whether he comes back or not, I honestly do not care, because I've played it. It was incredible. I've had those moments. It was phenomenal. whether he comes back or not. Let him make that choice. You guys just can't keep just pestering the man like this. And again, this isn't for the whole community. And again, not everyone is going to see this video. So, there's that. But it's just, you guys are making yourself look like that crazy ex-girlfriend that keeps stalking, the guy. The guy that kind of, dumped you and like you can't let him go. You guys are kind of looking like that. You guys are looking kind of crazy. All I'm saying. And plus, at a certain degree, since I'm I guess a new viewer of Asmongold, since I kind of found him through, Zepla and Preach and Pyromancer, a little bit through also Final Fantasy. I've also kind of noticed that his I guess kind of degree of what he likes he's not really, at least from my opinion of the guy, he's not really more of a story based kind of player. So does Final Fantasy really appeal to him? Because of course the guy, he has a background in World of Warcraft. Now me, I've never played World of Warcraft. Final Fantasy is my first MMO. I've heard a lot of horror stories saying how bad the story is in World of Warcraft. Now, I don't know how true or false that is to the degree, but from the little time I've known Asmongold, he does not seem, to me, again, this is my own opinion, he does not seem that focused on really like that story based element. Again, this is my opinion of the guy. I could be wrong. He is not really that keen on really, I guess, like the lore in story, like how really I'd see a guy like Preach or Pyromancer really is. That's my assumption of the guy. He seems more of the, the essential MMO player where it's more hack and slash, it's more action based. My assumption of the guy. I could be wrong. I haven't been watching him as long as the rest of you have. Again, I could be wrong about this, but this is me coming in with fresh eyes. If I am wrong, let me know in the comments. I'll change it up. Cool. No problem there. So with that being said, with me seeing this is really a game like Final Fantasy with its long story, with its tons and tons of lore, does it really appeal to a guy like, Asmongold? He's played through, ARR. He's gotten through Heaven's Ward, I believe, and he stepped through the gates of Stormblood, I believe. He said he liked ARR and Heaven's Ward. Okay, cool. And also, that's another thing that I have to kind of address, which I kind of don't like him saying, that he played Final Fantasy XIV. No. He's tried Final Fantasy XIV. He has not played it. Honestly, I see it as, okay, if you played, I see it whereas played and tried are two different things. You got the free trial and then you got the rest of the game. If you touch the free trial, then okay, I see it as you tried the game. And if you actually paid a subscription and you played through the rest of the game, then you actually played the game. You see what I'm saying? But if you only tried the actual free trial, then I see it as more as, okay, you actually tried the game, because that's what the devs are giving you. They're giving you that taste of the actual game. They're essentially making it seem as though, okay, let's actually give you this free trial, play through everything, level 60 and whatnot. He's done all that. So I feel as though he's tried the game. I don't feel as though he's actually played the game. But again, that's my assumption of it. It is what it is. But that's just a side note. I feel as though he's tried the game. He hasn't actually played it yet. Not yet. But what I'm saying is, the lore, he doesn't really seem as though he's really interested in the lore and story aspect like Preach, like Pyromancer. Again, I could be wrong about all of this. So maybe that's why it's more so that he kind of fell off from it. I mean, ARR was very tedious, was very slow. I think even the devs said that. I believe I think that's why they wanted to fix some stuff in the in some of the live letters. I mean, I think not in the actual story, but just some of the dungeons. I think that's why they tweaked some stuff, because it was a grind. It was a grind, but once you do, even so much people in the community said this, that once you do get past that initial hump, it does get better. And it is a shame that it's like that, but you that you have to remember that when the devs rebuilt this game from the ground up, like, they went in reworking everything, so they had to start from scratch. Like, they literally, like, this was hard coded in the actual lore. Like, they destroyed everything, built this damn thing from the ground up, so they didn't know where this was actually going. So I think also why it's like that. So I mean, it is what it is. I honestly didn't had an issue with ARR. I honestly liked it. It was tedious and kind of slow at times, but again, I'm new to the MMO genre. Again, it was cool to me. You have to kind of set some things up, but for that small segment of the community, I kind of wish you guys would really just leave the guy alone with, being on his back about coming back to Final Fantasy. Like, just on his own time. Let him come back on his own time. The game 14 doesn't need him. The game it can stand on its own feet with its incredible story, with its incredible characters, with its gameplay, with all these things, with its community, with its awesome developers. It can stand on its own feet. 14 doesn't need Asmongold, and I wish you guys can just see that. For God's sakes, it just won an award for Game of the Year, and it did that without Asmongold. Final Fantasy 14 doesn't need Asmongold. I understand that you guys want this guy to experience this journey that you guys took, but he's going to experience it on his own time. Maybe, or maybe not. Like, I just saw a video, like his most recent video, whenever I post this, it's today when I saw it. It could be a few weeks, a few days from whenever, but he said that his next main game is that he wants to do is Ashes of Creation. I saw everyone saying, he's probably not coming back to Final Fantasy 14. Dude, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? If that's what he wants to do, I'm happy for him. I'm honestly happy for him. As long as he's happy with what he's playing, that's alright, man. Leave the guy alone. If he never comes back to Final Fantasy 14, I'm cool with that. I'm okay. We have enough content creators in the community, man. We don't need them. You guys need to understand that. That's all I had to say, man. Like, I understand both sides. Like, you guys really want him to experience the game. I get it. I want him to, go through Shadowbringers, Endwalker. I mean, hell, even Stormblood, man. Stormblood, I mean, there are some good aspects of Stormblood. Yeah, even Stormblood. But even if he never goes through it, even if he never reaches Endwalker, I don't give a shit. I honestly don't give a shit, because I have experienced the game. and it was incredible. We don't need Asmongold. That's all I had to say. Take care, and bye-bye.